What's up everybody, welcome to Hammerdown Motorsports. My name is Steve Fast, and on this glorious sunny summer day in Pennsylvania, we are going to be doing a little bit of change to the Camaro. So recently the car has gotten a few changes. We've got our SS1LE black wheels with our Nitto red tire stickers from tirestickers.com. We have our 6LE wing, which is looking amazing, but it's time for a change. And yes, the louvers are gonna go. So since we put the louvers on the car, I've gotten a lot of mixed reviews about them. Some people like them, some people hate them. Sometimes they grew on people and they ended up liking them after all. But for those of you who like them, don't worry, we have something in store for you. So just real quick, I wanted to give a big shout out to the body shop at Penske Buick GMC in Shillington, Pennsylvania. As you can see, they really took attention to detail to make sure that everything was done right. They took the mirrors completely apart and painted all the pieces individually. And when they did the wing, they made sure to wet sand it down nicely, and you can see how flat the paint is, and they really took the extra time to make sure that a really good job was done. So a big thanks to them for that. So what we have behind me is the American Authority rear louver setup for the 6th gen Camaro, and I'm very excited to put these on because I'm going to show you a little bit of an issue that I found with the Ikon Motorsports rear louver setup. So as you can see, they do look really nice on the car. There is a little bit of a design flaw though. This lower louver right here, when you open the trunk, as the trunk comes back, these Camaros, they kind of hyperextend slightly. And as you can see, you can even hear it, it is touching the louver. And there isn't a whole lot of room to move here if you wanted to move this up, but I always found that it did touch there, and that kind of bothered me because I didn't want the paint to wear through eventually. So American Authority fixed the problem, and they made this part here flat so you have enough room to open your trunk and you don't have any interference with that at all. So anybody that's had louvers on their car probably has had issues with rattling, and I know with the Ikon Motorsports ones I did have some rattling going down the highway. I took some foam with two-sided tape and kind of put that in between to try to limit that a little bit, but it never seemed to totally go away. I could never really get all the rattles to go away, but I mean, I think if you tried hard enough you probably could. But American Authority doesn't even send foam with theirs because they're so confident they're not going to rattle. So we're going to install those and go for a drive and see what we got. Well, this is how it looks without louvers. Now anybody who hates the louvers, can you really tell me that it doesn't look better with them? Because I absolutely love them. So here we have them side by side, the American Authority and the Ikon Motorsports. As you can see, there's a little bit of a scratch already starting here from the trunk lid opening and contacting them. But what we have here on the American Authority is actually one less louver, so we don't have that kind of in the way, like I said before. Also, the bolt pattern on the American Authority set is different than the Ikon Motorsports one, so we will be removing the old studs and installing these brand new ones from American Authority. So I have had these louvers for a little while. I was waiting till I got everything painted all at one time because I wanted to get everything painted the same color of black, and basically if you're mixing paint you might as well do it all at one time. So we did get them painted at the body shop, so they are the nice gloss black, but they do come in a matte finish, which is actually really nice. If you're going for that matte look, you can just basically bolt them right on right out of the box. So since we had the louvers at the body shop, we didn't get to do the unboxing like you normally would with a new product, but at American Authority, they definitely take the time to make sure that everything arrives the way it's supposed to be. Everything was bubble wrapped and made so it can withstand anything that the Postal Service can throw at it. So you definitely can rest assured that you're gonna get your product in the condition that it's supposed to be in. So now we're gonna remove our old studs from the rear window. These are just put on with a 3M two-sided tape. And on a hot day, basically you can just kind of get your hand underneath and slowly apply pressure. And these pull off with no residue whatsoever. Look at that. One piece, not a problem at all. So if you do decide to get louvers and maybe they aren't for you after a little while, you don't really have to worry about taking them off. It is a pretty easy process. All right, we'll get our window nicely cleaned up. If you guys are looking for a good glass cleaner, this is what I use, Spray Away. Works awesome. So here's our first dry fitment of the American Authority's louvers. The first thing I noticed is these are slightly bigger than the Ikon Motorsports ones. And as you can see, we are pretty close on this side. Let's go over to the other side and see what kind of gap we have. And we're pretty much exactly the same over here. So you can set these in place by yourself and they fit the window really nicely. The Ikon ones are slightly smaller, so you can have them off to one side, and that's actually the problem that I ran into. So now the trunk test. Open up our trunk. See if we can get a good view over here. And as you can see, there's a nice gap for the trunk to open fully. Not gonna have any rubbing issues or anything like that. So with the American Authority louvers, you can definitely expect a quality fitment and not have to worry about having things off center or anything like that. And that's a really nice thing to have when you're installing these by yourself. So now we've got our pads in place. We got the nut on the other side, just nicely hand tight. And what we're gonna do is take a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, make sure we have no oil on this surface, and we're gonna put our pre-cut 3M tape on there and we're ready to put it onto the car. So as you can see, the 3M tape that's pre-cut with a kit fits really nicely on the plates. Basically all we have to do now is remove this red protective covering and we're ready to stick it on the back window. So as you can see, we got all of our stud plates where they need to be. I did this by myself. It was pretty easy to do, so anybody can do this by themselves at home. Now what we're gonna do is kind of just push down on the 3M tape, make sure we got really good adhesion so we don't have anything popping off when we get cold weather or anything like that. Another thing is I would recommend doing this on a hot day because the 3M tape really likes the heat and it really allows it to get a good grab on your window. So for those of you who thought putting the louvers on the Camaro was taking a little bit of a step towards the wild side, I think I had to step it up just a little bit more, and our friends from Diode Dynamics hooked us up with, oh yes, some LED light strips. Now these are high quality LEDs made in the USA, come with a remote and a holder that you can mount so you can put your remote where it needs to be and you can always find it when you need it. It has all kinds of different light patterns that these do. I just have these connected to my under hood lighting just to give you guys an example of how they are gonna look. So what we're doing with these is we're gonna be putting a light strip on most of the centers of these louvers. So underneath is gonna have a glow. Now, why would you want to do that, you might ask? Well, a lot of people have said that the louvers give the Camaro more of like kind of a Batmobile look. And for those of you who remember, the one Batmobile kind of had like ribs on the side and they lit up and it looked pretty crazy. So that's kind of the effect I'm going for with this. So we got all our lights laid out here. I have 4 strips on these 4 louvers. There is a 5th one that I might have to order later. I kind of want to see how it looks at night. But that's the greatest thing about Diode Dynamics. You just go on their website, you check out which lights you want, and they have everything you need for your custom application. Okay, we got everything routed where it needs to be. Hopefully everything will be out of sight when we put it on the car. I use these zip tie mounts which actually just stick on. So you just clean the back surface, take off this protective film and stick these wherever you need them, and it allows you to kind of mount your wiring where you need it so you're not going to see it on the other side. I will have a link in the description for these, so if you guys need these, you'll know where to find them. Okay, I got to admit, I wanted to try them out before I installed them because it's going to be a little bit until I get all the wiring sorted out in the trunk, so I did hook them up underneath the hood. So here it is, everybody. The American Authority Camaro louvers with the Diode Dynamics light system. And it actually looks pretty cool. If you look at it in a certain light, you can kind of see the LEDs shining off of the paint. It looks pretty cool already. I can't wait to see it at night. Well, here it is. The louvers are installed. Everything is looking great. Another thing worth mentioning is the hardware on here is actually made of metal. The nuts on the Ikon Motorsports ones were made of plastic. And I kind of always worried about stripping them out or over tightening in some way and having that thing fall off. So it's nice to have that confidence in the metal hardware. Another thing is you can't see any of the wiring for the lighting. I know I'm going to catch something in the comments for this for having the LED lighting under there, but it's my car, it's my effect. It's kind of just a thing that I have. I really do like LED lighting, but I do like to do it in a tasteful way. I like to have it so if it's on, you can see it and it's kind of cool. And if you're at the racetrack or whatever, you don't have it on, but you don't even know it's there. So now that we got everything installed, it's time for the rattle test. This is pretty much slow driver and not pay attention day, but I guess that's pretty much any day where enough people are out driving. torture test of the American Authority Louvers has proven that they are quiet on the highway and on the bumpy back roads of Pennsylvania. So that's a testament to their quality. They don't even include the double-sided foam so you can try to prevent rattles and put them in certain places, because they do have enough clearance from the window to the louver that you don't have that issue. So for $150, you can't go wrong with that. So big thanks to American Authority for sending me the louvers. I'm so happy to not have the rattles anymore that I did have with the old ones. And I think the new look really complements the wing from 6LE Designs. Also a big thanks to Diode Dynamics for sending me the lighting. I can't wait to try it out at night. I know it's going to look absolutely amazing. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you can be updated on new videos coming up, and keep that hammer down.